You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Sponsored by Treebor Soft Mints.
Absolute Radio.
Hello and welcome to Not the Weekend Podcast with Frank Skinner, Emily and Gareth.
Hi, Frank.
Hello.
Under the auspices of Absolute Radio. There you go, I've already said auspices and no one noticed.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased they've opened some hospices. It's really lovely work they've done.
I think it is a nice thing. You can't, because they pump it all into the 38-year-old man in the black T-shirt. But what about the elderly that listen to this?
Yeah. And once you've got them in, they can't turn it off. That's a good thing about them.
Yeah. Well, I've always said that.
So have I.
So we've arrived.
Well, actually, talking about the elderly, we have had a text in, haven't we, during the week, from someone who I think sounds like he could be quite elderly.
Yes.
Oh, you're guessing from the nature of his...
Well, partly from his name.
His name is Bobby Nickel.
Bobby is a very old-school name, Frank.
Okay.
Sounds like he might be a gangster. Bobby Nickel from...
But it is, though, isn't it? You'd call yourself Rob now.
Yeah, I suppose you
Bobby.
would, yeah.
Not many Bobbies nowadays.
Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
It won't be from him, though, would it?
No, I don't think so.
Well, no, he's got other fish
What's
to
his
fry.
surname?
Has he?
Yeah,
is that what he does now? Works in a chip shop. I wonder what had happened to him. I wondered if he could do me a couple of scallops.
Bobby Nickel tells a tale. A few years ago, whilst at the local rubbish tip, dump or whatever you want to call it, I saw a little black square box.
No, that'll be the flight recorder.
Oh, no.
When I got home, I couldn't believe it. When I opened the box, inside was an old gramophone and a collection of old 78 records, including Glenn Miller, Al Jolson, Jimmy Shand, and numerous other artists. Also inside was
Jimmy Shand. At last, Jimmy Shand has been mentioned on an Absolute Radio podcast. Do you know who Jimmy Shand is? I bet you don't. There used to be a Scottish programme called the White Heather Club, I think it was called. And it all used to be people singing things like, well, I've just come down from the Isle Scale of Full Meek. And Jimmy Shand was, I think he
I vaguely remember that.
I think he played the accordion. But I could be wrong about that. But how marvellous. That's a great find, though. I should, as a set-in to this, I should say to any new listeners that we talked a few weeks ago about things we've found on in skips and on tips.
On the dump,
On the dump.
trawling through rubbish. Also, inside was a tiny tobacco-type tin, and inside a few dozen needles.
Oh.
It's got the whole set.
Still gone a bit Peter Doherty.
I put the old crank handle in and turned it around a few times.
I wish he wouldn't call his wife that.
Then all of a sudden I was listening to an original recording of In the Mood by Glenn Miller.
Oh.
Why would
that moment in the Glenn Miller story. Oh, that's it. That sound, that's it.
Why would someone want to throw this out is beyond me. But it's my game because, as they say, finders, keepers, losers, weepers.
Well, as they did say 45 years ago.
Oh, Bobby.
Do you think it's the black box from Glenn Miller's plane?
No.
Could be. I don't think you say finders, keepers, losers, weepers about stuff at the dump, though.
No, you don't. You don't lose stuff.
They've fallen into my trap. Oh, they'll miss this.
Yeah, dumpers, weepers. That doesn't just doesn't work.
Oh, I'm quite pleased with Bobby, though.
It's a great
Good
find.
old Bobby.
Great find. Great find.
That happened in 1936.
Oh, well, fair enough.
With the absolute system, that's how long it takes for our text to come through.
Well, they must have put it there pre-eBay, because who'd be foolish enough to cast aside a Jimmy Shand 78?
Yeah, and a Glenn Miller.
Yeah. And who was the other one?
Was Al Jolson.
Al Jolson. A bit much loved by Ava Braun.
Yeah. Nice costume.
Adolf Hitler's wife.
Yeah.
I said it wouldn't last. Yeah. Well, it's a lovely story.
Well, actually, Bobby's not the only one.
What worries me, can I just say, is there any chance that flying over that rubbish tip, say in a helicopter, a week or two before, was a DJ who was on his way to a Remembrance Sunday disco?
Oh.
And that dropped out and And he's looking for that.
true.
And Bobby telling us now, Bobby's going to have to hand it back. Is there a danger of that?
It might have been Noel Edmonds.
Yeah.
Because he likes a helicopter.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
does like a helicopter.
Otherwise
And
he's-
he plays a lot of Jimmy Shand.
Otherwise, quite a high budget disco for veterans.
Holden, this box,
Getting
did
a
it
cop-
say £5,000 on the inside of the lid when he opened it? It's all falling into place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Poor old Noel Edmonds.
Well, I'm sure Noel
Spent
listens.
all that time on his beard. Now he's not on very much, except for Deal or No Deal. Deal or No Deal is what I would say if I was flying over Kent with a nuclear bomb in my aeroplane. Oh, anyway.
He does cosmic ordering, doesn't he? He's got everything he wants.
On the internet, is that
Yeah.
how you do it?
No, but he must
Oh, is
have his
it?
life. He says it's
Amazon,
exactly what he wanted.
Get it
What
all
do
on
you do?
Amazon.
How do you do that?
He's got a new wife, makeup artist, 37. He's got
I think
a...
everything's in order. I bet she has to put some work in on that,
Oh, yeah.
on that beard.
Well, it makes sense. Marry the makeup artist.
I love the fact, though, that as he's aged within, the hair and the beard has remained exactly the same. He's going to get older and older, and the hair and the beard will stay fabulously the same.
I wonder if he does use a dye, and I'm not saying he does, but let's say he does. I think it might say on the packet Golden Retriever, because it's that sort of shade, isn't it? Don't you think?
Blondie.
I think Golden Retriever is one of his cosmic ordering phrases. But I told you before, I'm sure, when he was staying at our flats, and I saw him when I left.
I didn't know. I don't remember that. He stayed at your flat. Oh, yes, I
Not
do
in
remember.
my flat, in
Yeah.
the same block. And I left, and I saw him going across the car park with a holdall, all dressed in black, like the dairy box man, or whatever they call milk tray. Is it
Oh,
milk
yeah,
tray?
yeah.
Yeah,
He had a
looking-
box, did he?
He looked like he had a bit of a... Oh, yeah, he had a black box, and he was humming. By the way, when I left this morning, when I left my flats, I left at 6 o'clock. No, actually, I didn't. I left at 6:45, quite early.
Okay.
And Mohammed on the front desk says to me, "No, it's not fair. You look nice in the morning, not like on those pictures."
Did he see
Talking
that?
about the faces for radio.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to
Even
explain.
he's seen it.
Yeah, he often sees me first thing in
I've
the
seen
morning.
it. You're very prominent around Waterloo, I've noticed.
Yes, I must go on a diet. What else?
Well, we had another, on the subject of dumps, we had
Oh, dear.
We had a text or email, it was actually an email, I think, in from Kathy, who said, the best thing I ever got out of a skip was a monsoon maxi dress. Sorry, Emily, but I couldn't resist. As a result, I can't wear it anywhere in our neighbourhood for fear the dumpy might recognise it on me now.
That's true.
Would that be a bad thing now if they dumped
Yeah,
it?
she'll just have to keep it for special occasions,
Yeah.
like weddings.
It's a bit like when, I think my mum got my sister something, and then she gave it to Cancer Research, and they decided to put it on the dummy in the window. So she couldn't run from that.
No. Although I think what she didn't mention is when she found it in the skip, it was on a human being. With the head missing.
Sewed up the slash down the side. It's all perfect.
Yes, exactly. Well, yeah, well, that came off with a J cloth and a bit of Dettol.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, that's a
Well, it's
great
not one
find, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would you wear a maxi dress out of a skip, do you think?
No.
Is it the skip or is it the monsoon? What's putting you off?
There's an awful lot going
Bit
on
of both.
there
Bit
that
of both.
worries me, to be honest.
No,
monsoon I have no problem with.
Okay.
There's some nice pieces. The skip, not so much so.
No.
Not loving the skip.
It wouldn't put me... If I saw something in the skip that I really liked, it wouldn't put me off.
I don't like second-hand shops, though, Frank.
No, I don't.
I'm a
Well,
bit
they-
phobic about other people's odours.
It's not so much that. It's that they make me think of death. I always imagine that someone's died in those clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Absolute.
Absolute mortality. That's the new station. They just talk about death, play a lot of death-based records.
Frank, I know we've had a lot of texts and emails that we're just reading out.
That's all right. I love it.
But there's another one that I just think you have to hear because, well, Gareth and I liked it, which is there's been an email in from Ben Scott,
Oh, yeah?
and the subject line of the email is "Celebrity caught me slagging him off." Well, you can imagine my delight.
Yeah, I'm liking the title a lot.
So, Ben Scott says, was in a hotel in London and Andy Taylor from Duran Duran was at the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Dressed like a bit of a plonker.
Okay.
Oh.
When was this set? 1975?
1936, the first one. This one was...
These have been lying around quite a while, these emails. They were originally sent to the Light programme.
Yeah. So he was dressed like a bit of a plonker.
This is the BBC in London. It isn't.
Oh, actually, they're not emails, they're telegrams.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that changes everything. Okay, Andy Taylor.
And he was being a bit of an idiot.
Okay.
The next day, unspecified, the idiocy, but nevertheless, the next day I was sitting in the hotel bar telling a mate about how ridiculous he was, using some fairly fruity language,
Oh, goodness.
and really
Like
slagging him
plonker.
off. Then we suddenly heard from the next door booth a really slow, loud hand clap. We looked around to find Mr. Taylor less than impressed.
I'm loving the slow hand clap. What a weird response that is. I haven't heard a slow hand clap. In fact, probably since the 80s. It's gonna Andy Taylor. Andy Taylor thought, well, I need a response that's suitably 80s. Was he drinking a Tia Maria? What a weird response that
Very
is.
weird.
How brilliant.
But also, what a weird person to take objection to. I mean, he's all right. He's got that funny little ponytail.
No, but if you do, I mean, if you saw a celeb
Yeah.
misbehaving, you wouldn't be able to resist telling the story. It's just,
Well,
I mean,
I
I don't know
suppose
about
not.
you, I never check the next booth. I just go for it and hope for the
No,
best.
exactly.
I tell you what I really want to know there from Ben Scott is what happened next.
Please tell me now.
How did
is what I say.
Scotty
Yeah.
respond to the slow hand clap? Did Andy Taylor say something?
Well, he leaves that mysterious. He says it was very embarrassing and funny at the same time. But that makes me think...
That's life, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
well, exactly. Perhaps they both saw the funny side. But was
no,
the
but
slow
Andy
hand clap
Taylor
angry? Angry? I'm assuming it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very angry.
I don't think he was saying, oh, can you speed up this criticism a little bit? I'm desperate to get to the end, the coup de grace. No, I think he was expressing
It
disapproval.
was his contempt, yeah.
Totally. I went to see Blythe Spirit last week at the Apollo in Shaftesbury Avenue. And a man came up to me after and he said, "Oh, Frank, can I have your ticket stubs?" He said, "They're great for autographs." And I said, "OK." So I gave him my ticket stub and he went away. He went off with them to get them autographed.
Oh.
Didn't ask for mine.
Oh.
Can you believe it? He's actually got something to get signed from me.
Did he ask for a pen?
He didn't
as
ask
well?
for a pen. I would have put it right up his nostril.
Yeah.
That would have done some damage. I wouldn't be surprised.
So what were you saying, Frank? You got lost or something? Or you were giving someone directions?
No,
Why do you even try?
No, but I think I've said on Absolute before that I have no sense of direction. It's really quite bad. And I spoke to, you may know, a psychologist about it who said it's because I didn't crawl when I was a baby.
I don't believe that.
Well,
It's like David Baddiel says he's got insomnia because he was born in New York. It's
yes,
rubbish.
he says that. He's got jet lag forever.
Exactly.
That's his theory. He does look like someone who's got jet lag forever,
He
though.
doesn't, poor Dave.
He's laid back in the extreme.
Yeah, he is.
But, no, that's probably... I mean, I crawled a lot in the 80s,
Yeah, you do,
but I
yeah.
never got that sense of direction back. But anyway, a very attractive woman came up to me in the centre of London and said to me, "I'm sorry to bother you, do you know where Chinatown is?" And honestly, it was... I mean, I bet it wasn't half a mile away, perhaps not even a quarter. And I said, you go over there, then you go right, and then you turn left. And she went away, and I went off, and I thought, well, I was actually going to walk through Chinatown on my way somewhere, but she was a bit too nice looking for me to say, "Oh, well, I'm going that way, walk
Yes.
with me." It would have looked like I was being salacious.
Yes, I know what you mean.
So I didn't feel I could do that. But as I walked back, I saw her, just seeing her walk off. So she's striding confidently. And she was on the phone, so she's probably saying, "I'll be with you in a minute." It's just, and she was going completely the wrong... And I thought about running after her, but I thought I might get maced.
Yeah, you might have.
So I thought, well, if that's your attitude, get lost. But I felt properly guilty. I wish I'd have just said, follow the lanterns. Looking back.
But it's irresponsible of you to give directions.
I know,
because
why do I do it?
Can I just say, Gareth, isn't it true? When we come out of here, every Saturday we come out of Absolute Radio, and Frank doesn't know where he's going. And whenever you say goodbye, you pretend that you know. You go, bye-bye, bye-bye, and then you walk into a basement in someone's flat.
It is. You won't... The times I've been in the car, and eventually the passenger will say, are we lost? And I'd say,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, we've been lost for like half an hour. No idea. At least, you know, the sat-nav has stopped there. But I don't... If I've got used to it, but I suppose the problem is... sometimes, by the way, I'll be out walking and I'll get lost. I phone my girlfriend, Kat, and she's on there saying, right, what shops are you near to? Can you see anything of a distinction? And she, you know, like in the old films when you're on a plane and they say, there's a green lever to your left. It's like that. She talks me down.
Well, Daisy and I did that to you in Edinburgh. We were going River Island, keep going.
I know, it's pathetic. I just can't do anything about it.
You need toddler reins.
Yes. Didn't he play the Invisible Man? But when they ask me, I don't want to appear to be so stupid that I don't know where Chinatown is, for example. So I can't... I think if I say I don't know, it look like I'm being deliberately unhelpful.
No, I think it would look like you don't know.
Yeah, and I can't tolerate
being
that.
honest.
I won't be party to that.
Not good. Who knows where that woman is now? She wasn't wearing a maxi dress, was she?
The terrible thing is, I think it's all right. She was Chinese as well.
Oh.
So, I mean, at least I didn't say.
Did you?
Well, if you don't know, I didn't. You know, I wasn't like that. But that felt worse. It felt like I'd sent her away from her people. Do you know what I mean? I felt like I'd exiled her.
I think in future, Frank, just if someone asks, you're just going to have to fess up. You have no sense of
Honesty is the best policy, I think.
Yeah.
What about if I carry a series of maps with me? And if anyone asks me, I'll pretend I'm a mute.
That would be a good thing for your to have. You could have a little selection of, you know, one of those little plastic holders for leaflets. Just have those on your belt.
No, I haven't seen those. What are they?
But, you know, like in a tourist office where they have a pile of leaflets and they're all...
You know, when you're in the tourist office.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I go in the tourist office to find the place half a mile away. No, well... No.
But I know what
Hand
you
out
mean.
leaflets.
I know what you mean about the sort of, I'm going that way anyway.
Yeah.
Because I do that a lot.
She'd have thought you were not going that way. You'd just seen me.
I do
you're
it
an
a lot.
opportunist. Yeah.
Well, I am an opportunist.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're joking.
If someone's nice looking, I'll say, I'm going that way anyway. If they're not, no deal.
Has it ever worked?
Deal or no deal. No, I've never actually been on a date
No.
as a result of it.
Have you been in
miss.
an alley?
We've had fun.
Excuse me, miss, I'm trying to find my way home. Well, I was going that way anyway.
So, Frank, I did a TV interview this week.
Did you?
Well, I did.
Why don't you I love to watch it when you're on telly.
Well, there's a reason why I didn't tell you. There's
Okay.
a reason why I didn't tell both of you. There's a reason why I haven't told anyone.
Oh, dear. Did it not go well?
Well, you could say that.
Did they say, how do you sleep at the end of it?
How on earth do you sleep? And I said Xanax. No, I was asked to do, it was a kind of, you know, like, I think it's Associated Press, and they syndicate this all around the world, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. America, Canada, Europe.
Oh,
So,
dear.
a crew came into the InStyle offices, and I'd been asked to talk about Kate Middleton's style. Because there was a few stories have been going around about her wedding dress and who she might use, and there was a suggestion it might be the House of Alexander McQueen.
Okay.
So who better to ask than InStyle's very own deputy editor?
Indeed. Well, obviously.
So, got my blow dry. Always get a blow dry when you're going on telly, Frank.
I do as well. Oh, no, sorry. Carry on. Got mixed up.
Sorry, what I meant was always get a £7 haircut. Yeah.
Yes.
Always get a blow dry. Did my own makeup, but it was fine. Carefully chosen outfit, everything good
When
to go.
I got waxed for Comic Relief, Jimmy Carr brought his own wardrobe person, and all we had to put on was a white towelling robe. All she did was hold it, put his sleeves in. She just tucked in the collar a bit, and that was it. Good night.
Oh, there you go. So, I chose, I had everything. I was very planned. I was very prepared.
Of course.
I spent some time thinking about the questions that might come up. Had sort of structured my answers, as one does. Sat down, did it. They love me, if I do say so myself.
Okay.
We laughed. I kept it formal and respectful, with the odd little joke.
Yeah.
Did you use my Kate Middleton looks a bit evil bit?
No.
Okay.
No.
Probably for the best.
Everything was great. They left. I was still glowing. The afterglow when you've done a good little performance
God,
like that.
I? Yeah.
You think, great. I talked very
It's been a while, but I still remember it.
I talked very knowledgeably about her fashion sense, because I know a lot about this.
I know.
Sat down, realised my top was on inside out.
Oh.
There were exposed seams.
Oh, no.
Yes. A bit of a label.
You're joking.
No.
Not a label.
No, a bit of a label.
Yeah, but everyone now will think, well, that must be the way to... Because if you're...
Well, I'm thinking that's why they didn't question me. Because the label was halfway down. It was halfway down, in my sort of torso area. So it was an...
it was that one?
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about something to do with fashion and the royal family,
Yes.
and everyone's reading your washing instructions.
And the seams, it was seams akimbo. It really was. But why didn't they say anything?
Well, they thought this is the new fashion. This is what everyone's wearing at InStyle magazine.
Oh,
I'm turning my cardigan inside out as we speak. I feel embarrassed that it's the right way around now.
Do you think I should just style it out if it is shown
Definitely.
in Wyoming, which it might be? I mean, the embarrassment. I rung her off. I said, where is this being shown? She went, America, Europe, Canada. It's going to be everywhere. Oh.
Oh, it's a shame it wasn't shown in Ghana, where Seems Akimbo is quite a big star. I mean, he's done 17 movies. Well, that's quite traumatic.
I know.
What is Kate's style in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, Frank, she's quite feminine. She's she's proud of her waist. She'll always accentuate that waist.
Right.
She's got quite a trim figure, hasn't she? Wouldn't you say?
She's narrow.
She's narrow. She's got a long leg as well. Like our producer, I was telling her only earlier she had a long leg.
Does our producer have a long leg?
She does.
I've never noticed
The problem is one short one as well. So
that's why she always walks in the gutter. I had no idea.
Actually, our producer has quite a Kate Middleton figure, I think.
Is that right?
Athletic.
Oh, I don't know. I don't look at her in those terms. I see her as a professional colleague. It's not Sky Sports, you know.
Well, I
I'd
give
never
her a
ask her to
thumbs
tuck
up.
in my headphones because it wouldn't be quite so sexual.
Anyway, so Kate's style.
So what's my if somebody said to you, what is Frank Skinner's style?
Okay, let's do this. Let's do
do
this
you want to
thing.
go there? I think that's one of the questions
No, you know
where
what?
you just don't ask something.
Well, I
you
don't
know,
think.
sometimes.
Is it middle-age crisis chic?
No, it's Red Brick University sociology professor.
Is that what it is?
That's not bad. No, that's not a bad thing.
Oh, not for 1 second. But see, my point is that I don't have any continuity in my style. Some days I might go for the red brick professor, but another day I might be sort of bass player with the small faces.
Can I just say, I think in your later years, you found your look, which is a good thing. You never want to.
Well, it's not a good thing for your early years, put it that way.
No.
But,
Well, then I sort of went. I think it was homeless alcoholic was my look in those days, which has got it's got its own style.
Yeah. No, but you'd sometimes appear. I felt in the earlier years there'd be a loud jacket or something.
Well, you remember I was pressured.
There was a fireman's jacket once, I seem to recall.
Remember
that
I
high
was
vis
pressured
thing?
into a sports shirt as well on a regular
you were.
basis, and that's never good. I do have. I mean, I like to think I nowadays. I feel like I'm going for a kind of a 1960s British novelist. I'm thinking I might
Yes.
just wear white shirts forever.
Interesting.
Never wear, and with a slim tie. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like that.
Good.
So let's do it. How would you describe my style?
Well, Frank, I might need your assistance on this. I mean,
I
definitely.
think isn't it Blur Roadie?
No, it's a It's a
You know
lovely.
when roadies dress like a poorer version of the band to look like they can hang around with them and people think it's all right. They know they're not the same hotel, but they want to be at least in the same sort of Venn diagram.
It's kind of he could work. It's one of the last remaining vinyl shops in Camden Town he works in.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can see that. Are we talking bondage clothing or music?
Music, please.
Well, he likes a cardigan, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Mostly this cardigan.
yes.
Or
There's
he
an
could
element
be
to Clive Don.
or trendy IT. I'm
Yes.
just putting it out there.
I think he could work in a comic shop.
Yes. Oh, that'd be good. That's a nice thing.
That's a compliment coming from me,
Yeah.
because I think they're
I do
gentle and
take that as a
interesting people.
compliment, because I do look like the sort of person who would collect, but I just don't have, the stickability to do it.
No. You look like you
No, I
might
don't.
collect scurf.
Scurf, I don't know what that is.
It's that sort of white wedgy stuff that you get on your scalp.
Oh, I thought it was one of David Baddiel's magazines.
No, it's not that. I think that's called surf. That's women dressed as 15th century peasantry. I never liked it myself. I can't cope with the scrofula under the breasts. Makes me feel ill. But we're all different. I don't think anyone will argue with that. I'm scratching. It's going to be all right. Oh,
That explains the scurf.
that's good. I'm loving the royal wedding season, though. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Love it.
Zara's getting
Zara
married. She's not. I met Zara. I liked her. I thought she was nice. She was sort of down to earth.
Was that your question of sport you meant?
Yeah, she's. Look, she has a Slavonic look to her. Do you know what I'm saying?
She does, Frank.
Yeah.
She does. She came out well, let's be honest.
She did, yeah, considering what she had to battle with. I mean, the royal family genes are not always...
No.
but I'd say Kate Middleton's going to up the gene pool a bit. I think she's an attractive woman.
Although, did you hear about what Princess Anne apparently had been suggesting that Mike Tyndall, who's Zara's intended, should get his nose fixed for the wedding?
It's a bit... he has got... Have you seen his nose? I mean, it really is all over. I think that when they throw rice, it may settle on his nose like snow on the eaves of an old house.
I mean, who rattled her cage? I think that's a disgrace. Let's be honest. And if we're going to talk about getting things fixed for the wedding, have you seen her wedding photos? Queen Mary hair, anyone? She looked awful.
But I don't think his nose is recoverable. Well, still, if he'd said that, if he'd said...
Frank,
if he'd said
everything's
it's
fixable, darling.
If he'd have said it's no good closing the stable door after the horse, he'd have raced out into the yard in an absolute panic. So it's a good job he didn't say that.
It's hard to tell about his nose from this picture because...
Do you have a picture?
Yeah, I've got a picture here, because it looks like his head's like he's looking slightly to the side, but then his nose is looking further to the side than the rest of his face.
Yeah,
Like it's sort of going round a corner.
he puts pay to that theory that as you get older, you move towards the right. His nose is heading... Well, if you look at his face, his nose is heading east.
You can imagine, like in a cartoon, that he can smell bacon, like over there.
And the nose is...
And the nose is going.
Eventually he'll follow the nose.
Yeah.
And that thing when the feet leaves
Start-
the ground.
yeah, start floating.
And they're just travelling on vapour. Oh, I love that. I'd love to see that happen in the royal household.
Yeah.
I imagine she does a nice full English, Zara.
I bet Princess Anne doesn't.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, if that hair got under the oven canopy... Especially when the extractor was on. Take the top of her head off.
But what would you say, honestly, if you got advice? Let's say Sandy Mason gave you advice about your clothes.
What, my
or your
girlfriend's
hair.
mom?
Yeah.
It was
We
a
don't
sort
need
of
to introduce Sandy Mason. She's a friend of the show.
And she's like a spiritual mother-in-law to me.
Yeah.
She never really... I don't think... She's lovely.
She's
She's
quite
a lovely,
well-mannered.
lovely woman, but she does dress like a Jedi.
Jedi chic, Tatooine chic.
Yeah,
Moves like a Jedi.
And so I don't think she'd advise me on fashion.
No.
I can't think of any... She did once say to me that I must go and see Feast of Fiddles. I didn't. It's a band, apparently.
Is it?
Yeah. She loves all that sort of stuff. She's very new age, but I can't imagine her telling me to get my nose fixed.
No, she's not. She's not full of the personal.
She's full of love.
Yeah.
People get funny about weddings, though. Me and Laura, when we first got married, we lived in Cardiff, and some of
in a Cardiff.
How many Cardiffs are there?
we lived in a Cardiff. Anyway.
We
lived in Cardiff.
Dolce.
We lived in Cardiff.
What's the matter, you? Hey, lived in at the Cardiff.
We lived in Cardiff.
Poor guy.
And a couple of Laura's friends, in fact, invited only Laura to their wedding.
What?
They only invited Laura.
Sorry, were you married at this
Yeah, we were
point?
married at the time.
That is outrageous.
That is genius.
You know when someone,
terrible.
you know when someone invites you only to part of the wedding,
Yeah.
they invited
hate
only
those.
part of us to the wedding.
That's really awful. Did you consider moving to another Cardiff? That's
think
awful.
Isn't, yeah, that's true. I mean, what do they?
Went.
Did she have a nice...
Oh yeah, she loved
She
it.
Did
went.
she go?
What an act of terrible disloyalty.
Well, I was appalled for a bit, and then I remember how much I hate weddings.
Yeah.
And then well, another wedding, and I mean, this may explain part of it, is that I
Killed
was
somebody with an axe.
killed somebody with an axe.
Oh, I hate it when
No,
that
I
happens.
was I felt awful. I felt really ill, so I went and sat in the car. But it did turn out I had gastroenteritis. So Laura was like, "Ugh." But I was very ill. But then another time, Laura just did send me out to the car again.
What, so
Just the
2
best.
weddings you've sat in the car?
Yeah, 2 weddings I sat in the car, yeah.
Why did she send you out to the car?
I think I was just clearly not enjoying it.
Oh, party animal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, not.
Did you have a car, Tiff? Rubbish.
You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Working towards a mintier world with Treebor Soft Mints.